Hi everybody. I'm going to try to do a quick Google Earth rundown of the region of Imbabura, which is the region circled here in this blue outline. I'm going to start with some of the natural elements and then finish talking about the cities and urban areas. So this area over here is known as the Intag Valley. It's very fertile. It follows this river. They're known for producing coffee and bananas and this type of stuff. It's really pretty, really remote, really fertile. They're also very well known for the battles that happened between mining companies and like locals and indigenous people. Literal battles between mining companies. They were able to successfully fend off mining companies and keep them out to a moderate degree of success. It's an ongoing battle everywhere in the country between mining people and locals. So that's this Intag Valley. It's kind of its own little thing over here. Another area is Pinyon. This is actually Pinyon, but this whole area, they're known as paramos. Any area that's above the tree line. So this is really, it's thought to be some of the last like untouched natural parts of Ecuador, just like really beautiful and pure, this paramo of Pinyon up here. You're going to notice that as you come in from the south, from Quito, you have the volcano of Imbabura, for which the region is named. The two major volcanoes staring at each other across this kind of urban corridor are Cotacachi and Imbabura. Imbabura is snow-capped, not permanently, but usually in the mornings at 15,000 feet. Cotacachi, similarly, in the mornings, over 16,000 feet, has snow, and then it melts off during the day. The Mohanda peaks are also very prominent because any direction that you look at them, they're very sawtooth, very rocky, very prominent, really pretty. Another Paramo area with the Lagunas Mohandas. There's a couple lakes here. Really pretty. I mean, fierce, like cold, windy, formidable, but beautiful areas to explore up here in this Paramo with the Mohanda lakes. You're also going to notice over here, Quicocha is a very popular ecological reserve that extends way back into this region, but mostly is known for just the lake with the two islands here. You can walk all the way around it. You can paddle boat out to the islands. You can, do some hiking up on Cotacachi as well. That's another geographical feature of the region. Up here are lots of hot springs, termales they call them. Chachimbiro is the one we like to go to. Really, really pretty, really nice to go on a hike somewhere and then at night wind up in the hot springs to relax. Really, really beautiful. There's also Cubilche rather. Quicocha's over by Cotacachi. This is Cubilche. A lot less known. Really, really pretty day hike. You can make it up there in an afternoon and back and hang out by the lake, have lunch or whatever. Kind of just barely in the Paramo category. It just barely peeks out above the tree line, so it winds up being really pretty and an easy hike. A lot less known in the region. You also have these ridges up here. Really, really pretty if you start at Yawarcocha, this lake right here, which is a really culturally significant lake. Yawarcocha means lake of blood. Pre-colonial time, there were a lot of battles like between, I believe, the Incans. I'm going to say the Incans and the indigenous people there. But you can also come up in these ridges from Yawarcocha. You drive all the way up, all the way up into these communities that are farming communities, but then very quickly you wind up out into the Paramo region again, above the tree line, with really beautiful views and everything. You can follow this all the way around, and it spits you out into the town of Mariano Acosta, and then eventually to Pimampiro, and then you would loop all the way back around like that. So there's this whole region up here of Paramos and Sierra and farm and villages. Really, really beautiful. So that's the kind of geological aspects of the region. If you want to look at the urban areas, you're going to come in from the south, from Quito. This is all more or less sparse in terms of urban areas. You're going to come across the first city of Otavalo, a small city known for being highly indigenous population. And every city along this corridor is known for what they produce. So Otavalo produces what they call handicrafts, artisanal hammocks, ponchos, backpacks, blankets, all this stuff a lot of times made out of llama wool. And they sell it at the Plaza de Panchos, which is right here, one of the oldest markets in Ecuador, where the indigenous people of all these regions come in and sell their their artisanal handicrafts. So that's a really important region. Cotacachi is a little town, I guess you could call it, a big village or a little town. Very big expat community there, foreigners, extranjeros they call them. This region is known for leather, leather shoes, leather backpacks, leather belts, leather whatever you want. Really, really high quality, cheap leather goods there. You continue along this corridor here, and you'll wind up in Atuntaki, which is more of an industrial town. They're known for textiles, so like think jeans and hoodies and shirts and stuff like that, just cheap clothes, less artisanal and more just industrial. Not very touristy, but a cool city, fun to explore. San Antonio is really just a suburb of Ibarra, which is the provincial capital, but they're known for woodworking, carpentry, and also statues, decorative statues and stuff like that. And then you wind up in the provincial capital of Ibarra, which is a big city. It is a big city. It just doesn't have a big city feel because it doesn't have a lot of tall buildings, but it has everything you need in a big city. Nice grocery stores, nice where you can find a lot of things in Ibarra that you can't find anywhere else in this whole region in terms of like consumer goods. So it is nice that it's there, but it's also nice that it doesn't have like a big city feel necessarily. One of the cool things about Ibarra, if I turn around the view a little bit, is Ibarra is really beautiful because you get views of Imbabura, obviously, Cotacachi, obviously, but then also Cayambe. Cayambe is not technically in Imbabura, it's just on, it's in Pichincha, this other province right here, but it's part of the region because it's one of the volcanoes you can see, and it's 19,000 feet tall. I mean, just a monster. You can see it from Ibarra. It's beautiful and permanently snow-capped. Only place on the equator of the planet Earth that's permanently snow-capped. That's how tall that is in elevation. If I circle back around to my original viewpoint facing north, so we've been around the corridor. The urban corridor stops in Ibarra, and then you can continue the corridor around and make a big loop around Imbabura through lots of little communities. Right about here, you're going to wind up coming along through this channel. Around here, there's a very popular community called Zuleta that doesn't show up on the map for some reason, but that's known for embroidery and cheeses. Really, really pretty area there in that valley. Yeah, so that makes the whole loop around Imbabura, and I think that pretty much touches on the whole area. You have the Intag, you have the Paramos de Pinyon, you have Mohanda, Cotacachi, these kind of areas. You have the urban corridor, you have Imbabura itself, you have the community rural corridor right here, and then you've got more Paramo and more just like indigenous rural communities over here. And yeah, that's pretty much the whole region. I hope that helps. I've been to a lot of these places, but I still feel like I've barely scratched the surface, so there's a lot to see. I hope this helps somebody. I hope you've enjoyed.